Why self-love, you ask? Self-love is important because you have to build up your self-esteem. You have to love yourself in order to be able to get through some of the things that you might have to go through. Now, everyone might not have to go through the same thing, but everyone has got to build up their self-esteem so that they feel strong enough to be able to get through these days and times. There's going to be certain experiences that you have that you might have never thought that you'd experience. A woman living with her aunt in Plantation, Florida. She was living with her aunt because her uncle had passed away, and she was there trying to support her aunt through the process of getting over the experience, or so she thought. Somehow she kept feeling compelled to stay in one room in the house. There was spell work being done behind the scenes. The aunt did not want her to leave the house. She wanted her to stay in that back room. And she kept offering to cook for her. The aunt that never cooked. Somehow, she'd invite her friends over and have talks about the young lady staying with her. She told her friends and neighbors that that was her daughter, and she was depressed, and she never wanted to leave the house. She didn't want to work. She'd tell them these stories when the niece, would go out to the library and apply for work regularly. She'd get up early in the morning, and she'd find that she'd go and get, renew her water. She'd get gallons of water and refill the water from the water machine. Somehow the water became compromised. She'd feel sleepy. She wouldn't want to get up. She would be fighting to get up. And she'd feel as though someone were watching her in the bedroom that she resided in. Cameras were placed in the room that she slept in. She had a meeting with the insurance woman first, and she asked the insurance woman to talk to the niece. The insurance woman asked the niece, could she please sign her name? Could she please sign it for insurance, for life insurance? They both were waiting, and they wanted to see how she signed her signature so that they could forge documents, but the niece wouldn't do it. After that, she began making sea moss smoothies. Somehow there was a funny flavor, a funny taste to the mixes that she was making. She refused to make any for anyone else, although people were requesting that she make this drink for them. She refused because she knew something was wrong. As time progressed, the niece met up with someone to put her stuff in storage. She knew there was time to leave. She started having bad dreams that her aunt was trying to unalive her. So before she left, there was a series of certain things that happened. The aunt had met up with a friend of hers. He used to be the cable man, and now they became friends. She wanted, because he had a military background, she wanted to hire him to unalive the niece in the house one day when she was not there. But he refused to do it. The next thing that happened, the aunt had spoken to someone. They placed the videos on a dark link on the website, a website on the computer. It was the dark web, excuse me. They decided they were going to take the dark web, and they were going to take the films of this young lady getting dressed and undressed in the bedroom, and cameras were placed in the bathroom of the room that was connected to the bedroom that she was staying in. They were filming her taking showers and getting prepared for bed and all sorts of things. They put it on the dark web. And there were older men that she had sequestered and told them that this woman, that they could have the woman. They were going to put her on they were going to, what do you call it? They were marketing her, basically. And they were marketing her to to have her trafficked. She was on the dark web and they were going to traffic her. And the men were asked questions as to whether the woman had had any personal relationships. And they told these men that she was not intimate for long periods of time, or for years even, so that they could actually market her for more money. And the plan was to have the woman trafficked. However, the woman left in time. She left in July, and she never turned back, never came back to her aunt's house. The aunt then began getting mail and ordering credit cards under the niece's name. She began getting different bills placed in her niece's name so that her niece would have bad credit, so that wherever she went, she would not be able to survive without having to pay those bills off. You see, people, you never know what the motives are of another person. To make things worse, the person who the niece thought was her friend, a person who worked at the post office, a man they called Jaws, because his teeth were like shark's teeth. The person who she was trusting, because he actually helped her get her things and move them away, he decided one day that he was going to place something in her water and give her free mangoes, something that he'd done at the post office time and time again. He'd give his co-workers or some of the women at the post office different mangoes, and he'd take a needle, place a drug, what is it? There's a drug. He would place it in a syringe and place it inside the liquid inside of mangoes, and he'd give them to certain co-workers. And then he'd follow them home after work to try to see exactly when he could actually make his move. He would mistreat these women in a very intimate way. You have to be very careful, because you never know what is possible. Now, the aunt was also she had a friend at the post office who was monitoring the mail, and she'd tell the aunt where the young lady resided based upon the mail that she was watching. You see, you have to be very careful during these times. There's so much going on, and this was one of the same people that the niece had contacted in regards to helping her transfer her mail. She was actually being paid to watch the mail and tell the aunt every move that the young lady was making. The aunt told this woman that that was her daughter, and she was paying this woman to monitor mail. You have to be very careful. It's almost like looking both ways before crossing. You have to be careful. People doing all sorts of things behind the scenes, all in honor of trafficking.